Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another mining ship, and this one is called the WHI M5H Worm, which is this lovely thing over here. So this is a fairly large small block ship that features 8 drills to tunnel through an asteroid, as well as plenty of hydrogen tanks to make sure you can keep going for a nice long time, and plenty of cargo space in the form of a couple large cargo containers. Pressing F10 and finding the worm in the spawn menu. There it is. This thing is 766 small blocks using the decorative block DLC pack. We have a nice lot of information about it on the Steam Workshop page, including everything it's got inside it, as well as a few useful bits of information at the bottom. So giving this thing a thumbs up, what I'll do is come around to the very front, have a quick look around the outside, then we'll go and test it out against the asteroid sitting right behind me, and we'll see how much it can collect and how well it handles. So at the very front, this is what we get. So front and center, what we got is our industrial cockpit to drive this thing around. Right above that is our precious ore detector, so we can go out and about and find what we're after. We also got full spotlights to light up the darkness with a bunch of hydrogen thrusters to help slow this thing down, and that will be a test at the end once we're full up to see how fast we can actually stop, which is usually the weak point of most mining ships. But surrounding all that, we've got ourselves 8 drills, which should be good enough to go straight through an asteroid. But if not, it'll be great for surface mining, because you've got a nice lot of area to cover. Pulling away from that and moving around onto the side, we can see a bunch of hydrogen tanks hidden away behind our atmospheric thrusters, or even hydrogen thrusters. Why did I say atmospheric thrusters? I don't know. Anyway, on the side, this is what we get. We've only got hydrogen thrusters here. We can see our O2H2 generator at the top. We can see a medium cargo container at the bottom. Then if we were to come around towards the very back, this is what's going to push us around, and this is how we're going to connect up to our base and unload anything we've collected. We also got another spotlight and a camera to help dock this thing up, and of course to reverse out of a hole you've made. And we can just about see all of our ejectors, which can be very useful for removing anything we don't want. And there is one hell of a lot of ejectors on this, going all the way along this side, and on the opposite side as well. But while the camera is over here, what I'll do for the moment is just leave it on the inside. So there is our large cargo container, which will come across onto another one. If we were to go towards the front, we can see how that's all been connected up. Pulling away from that and coming back to the very back, moving all the way up, there is our camera, there's some more hydrogen thrusters, then we can clearly see our containers at the top. We also have a programmable block which is going to be for our automatic LCD screen scripts, but if you don't want to use it, you could always remove that and say put on the PAM script for some automatic mining. Anyway, towards the front there's a couple of small batteries, there's a timer block which is going to be for our power down system, and there's the top of our drills above our cockpit. Dropping down and coming underneath, putting my light on once again, there's another connector in case you don't want to use the rear connector to dock up, or maybe the port isn't suitable of where you're trying to actually dock up. But going around the middle there, we've got some steel blocks just to cover up the bottoms of our cargo containers and ejectors, then even more hydrogen thrusters. And there's a connector and light at the back. And that is a very brief look around the outside of the M5H Worm, and looks bloody fantastic with how it's all been set up. A very well thought out miner with plenty of hydrogen tanks, plenty of cargo containers, and we should be able to collect up a nice lot. And there is another mining ship in the background that I was playing around with. That one was created by Splitsy, who is a much better YouTuber than I am, and I was just seeing how it was set up. Anyway, grabbing hold of my character, coming into first person view, this is what we get. So we've got 3 LCD screens above us built into our cockpit, which is showing us some very important stuff. Our hydrogen fuel status, our cargo used, and if any blocks are damaged. Always useful things to have on a mining ship. Anyway, coming to third person view, pressing number 1, this is going to be for our cruise control, to turn off our hydrogen thrusters at the front, so if we have to move forwards, we won't slow down. Number 2 is to simply toggle our drills on and off. Number 4 and number 5 is going to be for our cameras around the ship, so 4 is our reverse camera, and number 5 is in a precarious position, but this is behind our ship facing forwards, but just giving us a view of our ejectors and what's going on with it, and of course giving us a little bit of view for that connector underneath our ship. But coming out of that and pressing number 6, this is going to be for our shutdown, which I'm not going to do because I'm not actually sure how to turn it back on. What it will do is turn off our hydrogen thrusters, it will set our batteries to recharge, set our hydrogen tanks to stockpile, so it's basically just like a restock and refill when you're docked up to a station. Number 7 is to manually stockpile our hydrogen tanks on and off. Number 8 is our systems all the way around the ship to turn them on and off, so there we go. And then number 9 is for manual control over our drills, so we can use our left and right mouse to drill through the asteroids. So there we go with that. And with that all done and out of the way, that's all the controls, so now we can come across that lovely patch in the asteroids and start mining it up and just see how full this gets. So I just come all the way across it like so. We've got plenty of control over this. It's very nice, very light, very floaty. But we'll see how that changes when we're all full up. Just moving all the way up to it, this is what we get. And we're just charging straight through all that. Look at us go. In first person view, I don't think this is going to be able to go all the way through. I think there's going to be a little lip in the middle where it'll damage the cockpit. But here we go. In third person view, that's what we get. Force to stop drilling for a second. Actually, it might be able to go all the way through. I think it's got enough spacing between the drills to make it work. I'll come back when we're all nice and filled up. And here we are, we're now full up. The script is saying we've got a little bit more space, but it doesn't look like we're collecting any more. And if I was to bring the free camera over, this is the hole I've made. So there was no risk of it damaging anything, it just went straight through, which is always nice. But now I can come back into here, use the reverse camera, there we go, and I can now pull this all the way out. But now coming out of the camera into third person view, I can press I, come into here, and we'll see what we've collected. So here's all of our connectors, and we can come down to our large cargo containers, where we've got a nice sort of stuff collected. Very nice stuff, in fact, that it should last you a nice long time, especially for a small mining ship. Yes, how does this handle now? Before it was very responsive in all directions, but I can immediately feel a lot of weight while turning this thing around. Moving forwards, this is what we get. It's not too bad for a mining ship, but still a lot slower than it was before, but that is to be expected. Coming to a stop is not too bad, but you will have to plan ahead if you are charging along at 100 meters per second. Moving left and moving right, we've got a surprising amount of speed with that. That is thanks to all those thrusters on the left and right hand side. And yes, as I said with the mouse control, that is what we get. So finally, where Splitsy's poor little mining ship is, we'll go and slam this straight into that, and that should be the end of this. Of course, it's very well camouflaged, and I don't think I'll be able to spot it in time, but it should be somewhere around here. I'm hopefully going the correct direction. In fact, I think it's up there. There it is. We're going to charge all the way towards it, and that'll be that for both mining ships. And there we go. Wow, my computer did not like that. We lost the front of that, and there's nothing remaining of the poor little mining ship that Splitsy created. There'll be a link to this in the description below if you do wish to download it and play around for yourself. Highly recommend you do because it is a nice mining ship. And there will also be a link to the Skybox I'm currently using because it is a very nice one, very colourful. And I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.